Hello all, in this video we'll be talking about MIME, which is Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extension. In the last video we've talked about mail formats, RFC 822, messages. Okay, so there what happened is that those email consisted exclusively of text messages. The system was designed to support text messages which were expressed in ASCII. But later on this became a restriction. All right, and problem occurred when the mail system had to deal with international languages, like languages with accent. Examples are French and German, and German, and then languages in non-Latin alphabets. That means the problem came with those messages which were not purely textual, not purely ASCII. Okay, and some languages they didn't have alphabets, like the third one, languages without alphabets, like in Chinese and Japanese. All right, and sometimes the message did not contain any text at all, like sometimes we have to send audio file or images, pictures. So that was not supported by our email system, which was proposed in RFC 822. So for that kind of problem, the solution came up, and that solution is known as your MIME. So that is why the name multi-purpose internet mail extension. So it is an extension of the mail in such a manner that it can carry multi-purpose content. Okay, and this solution was proposed in the new RFC versions like 1341 and 2045. Okay, and the basic idea of having MIME was to continue the use of the RFC 822 format, okay, which supported purely text messages, but in addition to that it had to add structure and encoding rules so that it can support non-ASCII messages as well. Alright, so with the introduction of MIE, some extra headers had to be added to our previous email system. Alright, so now because the messages are supposed to support non-ASCII formats, that means extra files. All right, so that had to be mentioned in the header files. So here in this table, different header files that were added with this MIME version is discussed. So first of all, header number 1 is MIME version. Okay, so what version of MIME is mentioned here? Okay, we have to write the value there. Then the content description is there may be different types of media files. Okay, so what kind of file? So that has to be described in the second header. Then content ID, content transfer, and we'll see as we go down. Okay, so the first one is content description. So it is an ASCII string. It's a text which will tell us what is in the message. Okay, so and then content ID will have a header. This header will have a identity of, okay, some identity number of the content, and very important because now we are not dealing with pure text. Okay, now we are dealing with new kind of non-ASCII messages. So here the most important thing is we require content transfer encoding. The text, that the message that has to be transferred has to be now encoded because it's not purely textual. Okay, so it tells how the body is wrapped for transmission through a network, okay, that may object to most characters that other than letters, numbers, and punctuation marks. So what happened was that earlier only mail with letters, numbers, and punctuation marks used to go, so the network was adapted to that. But now we are planning to send some non-ASCII files. All right, so in that case we have to also mention the encoding method. So here in this particular header file we have that system, okay, which is known as content transfer encoding. So what kind of encoding the system is undergoing? All right, so example is base 64 encoding. Okay, this is mostly used. So here is some kind of encoding format. Okay, so different versions. So here I have explained a little bit about base 64. Okay, so it encodes the binary data by treating it numerically and translating it into basic. So it will form a packet. So you can see here it is forming this bit pattern here. Okay, bit pattern. So it is making a collection of this many bits, and that many bits will have, it will be equivalent to some characters, some alphabets. All right, so that when we do is known as base 64 MIME. There are other versions also, so that which version, which kind of encoding is used is mentioned in this content transfer encoding. All right, so that is that header. Then after that, content type. We know that there are different type of non-ASCII files, media files, let's say. So what type actually? So that will be mentioned in this particular header. Okay, so this will specify the nature of the message, and 7 standard types are defined in this version of RFC 2045, and further these types will have more number of subtypes. So here this example, in the content type they have written video, that is the type, oblique MPEG subtype. Okay, so you have to mention the type, and in that type what is the subtype. So this is the extra feature that we can add to our existing mail system that comes with our MIME. So here in this table they have also given you the different types and subtypes of the files that we can that the MIE supports. Okay, the first one is text. It's not coming with. The first one is text. All right, text. So again, in text, that is the major type, and then we have under type we have the subtype, but is whether it is plain and enriched. Okay, plain means unformatted, and enriched means it has some formatting commands. You'll have some /i/ all those HTML commands will be there. So that is mentioned here. And then if it is an image, then whether it's GIF or JPEG, that has to be mentioned. Then audio, whether it is basic. All right, video, whether it's MPEG. Then application, whether it is a line of byte sequence, or is it PostScript, can be printed. Okay, and if it is a message, then what format, RF32 or partial. That means when you have this partial, that means message has been split. Okay, it is divided. Okay, so the message may have 2 sub messages. Then external body. All right, message itself must be fetched over the net. Then another very important is multi-part. This is type, and these are, so multi-part means message will have more than one part. So again, in that case, the first subtype is mixed. Mixed means independent parts. The parts are not connected, related to each other. They are independent and they are coming in some specified order. Alternative, when you have, it means the same message, but then they are available in different formats in the different parts. Okay, multi-parts. Then parallel means they can be viewed at the same time, the different messages. And digest means each part is a complete RFC 82. So all the different types and subtypes are mentioned in MIME extension. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.